I'm keep clapping, I don't know why. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I am Shelby, also known as Shelbzolla or whatever you want to call me. But my real name is Shelby. I don't know if anybody knew that, but I am doing a review today on the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna foundation. I was gonna pick up other things in her line, but I don't know. A lot of them were highlights. I'm not a highlight junkie, and I didn't want to buy more highlights. I wanted to try something that I was super interested in, which was the foundation. So I picked up the foundation instead. But anyways, today I'm going to do a review on just the foundation. If you like these types of videos, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And before you leave, make sure you subscribe because it helps me out a lot. And I get super excited with 1 subscriber. I'm like, oh, people like me. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to do like a full day wear test too. And today is like the perfect day to do a wear test because I'm actually taking photos of my friend Anna and her boyfriend Nick at Balboa Park. So there's gonna be a lot of like camera to the face act. That did not look okay. There's gonna be a lot of face interaction with the camera since I do have to look behind the lens. I will be in the heat. It does get it's still a little bit warm here in the afternoon, especially down south. And it's gonna be a perfect day. I will keep in mind though if there's something missing around like this area, it's more than likely from my eye, or well, I guess it'll be here. It's more than likely from my eye resting on the viewfinder. So just so you know, I got the shade 140. I saw a bunch of people say this oxidized, so what I did and what I suggest to you is to swipe a bunch of colors right here of what you think would be your shade, and then walk around Sephora and kind of look at other things for, you know, 10 minutes and then come back and see how they dried down, because I did notice they did dry down a little bit darker. So I kind of just went with a swatch and I went up against the other side of my arm, like this side of my arm, and I like held them together to try and like get the body tone, because my chest is hard to match because I get really red right here, and that's the only thing that gets red. So it looks like a lot of the time my face doesn't match my neck, but it matches my body, so, or my chest. So we're just rolling with that. So it's medium to full coverage, long wear, light as air. So it's supposed to be, I did notice it's very liquidy. Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation. It's $34 in case anybody didn't know that. I got 140, which is for light skin and warm undertones. So when you go to the store and when you're online, you'll notice that they have a bunch and it'll tell you the undertone that it's meant for. So I'm 140 light skin, warm undertone. It's an instantly smooth, pore diffused. Is that even a wrong word? Pore diffused, shine-free finish that easily builds to medium to full coverage. The oil-free formula is made with climate-adaptive technology that's resistant to sweat and humidity and won't clog pores, so wherever you are, it's going to work on your skin. This is a good day to test this because I will be out in the heat and it gets cold in the morning and then it's hot in the afternoon still. Well, if you didn't know, the company that makes Rihanna, like Fenty Beauty by Rihanna, is Kendo, which is also the same company that makes Kat Von D. Just thought I'd throw it out there. I love Kat Von D's line. It looks like she has tons of creative freedom with that, which I'm assuming since it's the same manufacturer, Rihanna has tons of freedom as well with hers. And it's exclusive to Sephora, so that might be a deal with Kendo or whatever. I'm gonna prime real quick, and I'm gonna use what I would normally use if I want like balm makeup for the day. Like I want it to stay, I'm not worried about anything, and I'm gonna go in with this Nivea Sensitive Post Shave Balm. I know this is like, I can't find another primer that works as well as this. It's so weird. I saw Nikki Tutorials use it. I'm like, that's kind of weird, girl. Like, I don't know about that. But it honestly, it's really works well with my skin. I can't explain it. I love it. I wear it for festivals. I put this underneath my Kat Von D foundation. It just sits so nicely and it stays. So we're gonna use that because, like I said, I'm gonna do what I do when I want a foundation to stay. If it's like going to work for a couple hours or whatever, I normally just toss on whatever primer, like a moisturizing primer, so my skin doesn't feel dry. But this one we're gonna go in. Next primer I'm gonna use is the NYX Pore Filler. I use this right here and then just this area of my face because I do have some pores and I like it to look smooth there, so we are gonna go ahead and go in with that. I'm gonna go ahead and do one side with brush, one side with a sponge, and see which one we like better. I have a feeling, I don't know, my feeling could be wrong. Since this is a very liquidy foundation, I'm scared to use the blender with it, because I don't know. So we'll see. And then it comes in this like cute little frosted glass packaging, white top. I think we've all seen it. It's overplayed. Woo! I'm just gonna use one pump. We're gonna go in light. Let's just start with that and see what happens. Ooh. Oh, this is nice. Okay, we'll see how it goes. And I also do have a feeling that the Beauty Blender is going to use more product than the brush. We'll see. I could be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times in my life. So that was one whole pump on this side of my face using the sponge. And it's like a light to medium coverage right now. It's not full at all. So let's go ahead and go on the other side. One pump again. And I can't decide what brush I want to use. I'm going to go in with one of my favorites. It's a flat top kabuki. It's by Bedlam Tools. It's 957 brush. It's their flat top kabuki. It's like a huge favorite of mine. I'm just going to dab right into it and then kind of smear it around. Don't know if I like it with the brush, actually. It's kind of emphasizing my baby hairs. If I go in with this one, this is an e.l.f. brush. I find that sometimes I don't like that brush for certain foundations. I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. foundation brush and see if that helps because it's rounded. I like it a lot better with the sponge, so I think it just looks, let me see if I can zoom you in. I don't know, like, can you see? I don't know if it's picking up. It's kind of splotchy with the brush, and you don't get as much coverage, strangely enough. I thought that was gonna be opposite. And then on this side, I can't see if I'm in focus because the lights are bright. This side is a little bit more uniformed. I did a very light layer though, so it's like light coverage right now. I don't know if you can see the difference. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with a beauty sponge. I'm gonna put you this close now. I'm gonna put 2 pumps. You do need a lot of product. I guess it is buildable, which isn't a bad thing, but I'm just not used to that. Usually, like with full coverage foundations, I don't have to go in so many times with product, so I don't know how I feel about that. It looks way better once you start to build it up. Like a light coverage, I wouldn't recommend this if you want a lighter foundation, because I just don't think it sits well when it's just one like light layer. I think it looks really pretty when you go in and like use a couple pumps. It looks pretty good in my nose too. My nose is like my trouble area. It always like flakes and starts to look dry on my nose, so it looks pretty okay right now. It's not streaky, which is nice. That's another problem area of mine where I get streaky. So I want to say we're at like a medium coverage, and there's still like the chin area. I have a little bit of redness that's peeking through, so I add another layer. It is matte. It definitely, once you start tapping it in, it gets matte. Oh wow. What the? What? That's cool. I just spit everywhere. That was disgusting. So, oh my god, I've never had a foundation like this. So, it looks good on skin. It's about medium coverage right now, but when you put your fingers on it, it feels like skin. Like, it's kind of picking up on my fingers, but it's almost feeling like a powder, like, even on my fingers. Like, it's coming off like a powder. Oh my god. It is lightweight. I agree with that. That's good. My drawback so far is that I've had to use 4 pumps of foundation for a medium coverage. Girl. We're gonna go in and we're gonna just do full coverage. And so I'm just putting another pump because you can see how liquidy it is. That girl's running. And I'm just gonna put this all in the T area because that's kind of where I need coverage. This dries fast, by the way. That dried down really fast. You don't even have to set this with a powder, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna set it with powder because I don't know, you know when something's just in your routine, you're just like, I'm gonna do it because I do it that way all the time? Well, that's what we're doing. Well, I would totally be okay with that medium, but we're just gonna go in full coverage just so you can see how it wears. It is settling already into my smile line, which is not a huge deal, but I have a lot of foundations that don't do that. The Clinique one does this, but it does it worse. Kind of cakey around the nose. We did go in full coverage. I feel like the more you touch it though, because it has dried down to like a powder finish, it might disrupt. I'm not sure, but let me go ahead and zoom you in. So that's kind of what it looks like. As you can see, it's kind of like caking up around the nose right here. And then that area, it's like splotchy. I don't know why. I don't know why. You can see it doesn't look very good around the nose. My nose is my trouble problem, like my problem area. But it looks really good on the other skin. I don't know if you can tell. It might look a little, this is just my skin texture because I have like freckles right here, along with like, I don't know, skin sun marks and stuff right here. But yeah, that's what it looks like. And then in my smile line right here, this is my one, you can see it's already kind of creasing in. I'm gonna put just a little, actually, I'm not even gonna try and build it up around my nose because I already know how this is gonna go. I'm just gonna use concealer. Concealer works best on my nose. I've just kind of given it up already. So far, I like it. It feels really good on the skin. It does not feel heavy. Like you could put your fingers on it. It's not tacky at all. It does kind of come off on your fingers though, so you've been warned. So I like it so far. I don't know how well this is gonna last throughout the day. We'll see. It'll be on for about 8 hours today. It is 10:38 right now. Around 1 o'clock I'll check in, and then when I come back from shooting all those photos around, let's see, like 6:30 will probably when I'll be back, and we could check in then too. If not, I'll try and do it on my phone since I have this new 4K video, but whatever. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face, and I will check in with you guys later. Bye. It looks a little cakey on the nose. Don't mind my lips faded. It did oxidize quite a bit, as you can see. It wasn't this dark when we started. It doesn't look oily at all. It does have a natural finish. It wore out right here. But other than that, it's actually intact. I don't see any fading anywhere other than where the sunglasses were in this little spot. It did settle into some lines. Sorry, I'm looking at the mirror. It did settle into some lines up here, and that's about it. I definitely wouldn't wear this full coverage, just because, I don't know, I don't think I need full coverage, and it doesn't look the best on me full coverage. I still agree with that. So, I don't know, I'll check in when I get home. It's like an hour drive from here. Okay, so here's the foundation. It is like, what time is it? It's about 6:30, 6:40, maybe 7. Around there. I'll give you the exact time in like a little note up above. And this is how the foundation's looking. It's looking kind of the same, like cakiness and then the same whole deal, but the sides look good. This is, again, too full coverage for me. I don't think I need this much. However, I was at Balboa Park in San Diego, and it was kind of hot today, and I was sweating, and I had my sunglasses on, and as you can see, there's barely any sunglass indentations, and that's like a big thumbs up because that's the first thing to go on my foundation, so it gets points there. But everything else kind of basically looks the same. This I don't see being a winter foundation for me. If I'm gonna use it, I see it more as a summer foundation. I think it would work very well, but for winter I'm not sure I would like it because it does, I don't know, it is drying. But other than that, it lasted pretty well. This is actually one of the longer lasting foundations I've ever had. Again, I would stop at that medium coverage that I showed you guys earlier and not go full coverage, but we don't do things half-assed here, so we did full coverage. I recommend this if you have more on the oily skin tone. If you have dry skin, you're not gonna like this at all. It does like show like the dryness. It gets like out of a 1 to 10, it gets like a 6 or 7 from me. It's nothing amazing. It didn't like blur my pores or anything. You can definitely see my pores right here still, which isn't a big deal. But it gets like a, let's go with 7. It gets like a 7 for me. I'm pretty impressed with it for $34. It did the job. I would definitely use it again. I don't know if I'd recommend it for people with my sort of skin type. My dog is running around back and forth right now, but I don't know if I would recommend it for like my skin tone. Like I would much prefer like the CoverGirl Gorgeous. I think it's like Ready Set Gorgeous, or I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'll link them down below, but it's good. It's not bad. It's not terrible, and I'm impressed with how liquidy it was. I'm very impressed by how much it covered and how well it stayed. Its staying power. It's got some good staying power. Like I said, sunglasses. Girl, I was sweating. I feel sticky. You know when you've been like super hot and you're like sticky, like you've been sweating like right here in these little crevices. It's like sticky. That's what's going on right now. But I think that's all I have right now, so I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye!